Can I? Hi students, today we are going to discuss about reflection of light at curved surfaces. So I think you know very well about reflection. So since you are studying from 8th class about reflection, the reflection is one of the most important topic in light theory. So let's see what is reflection once again here. So reflection is nothing but everybody knows the bouncing back of light after hitting any surface called as what? Reflection. So what do you mean by reflection here? The reflection is nothing but the bouncing back of light after hitting any surface called as reflection. We know that basically reflection is two types. So like what? A regular reflection as well as irregular reflection. So let me explain. The first thing is what is reflection. Let's see once again that. So reflection is the definition saying here the bouncing back of light after hitting any surface called as what? Reflection. So let's consider one surface here. So what is surface? Any surface here acts as a what? Reflecting surface. You can consider anything, understand. But now I am consider one plane surface. Already you know very well about this plane surface. Consider one plane mirror here. So now the plane mirror is acts as a what? Our surface. Let's see the what? How reflection takes place on this. I am just considering the what? Light source at a point. Say that point as what? A is a what? Light source. So from that one ray is coming and hits the what? Or strikes the surface at O point. Here the O point, the incident ray nothing but which ray is coming from the what? Light source. The ray is coming from the what? Light source. The ray is called as what? Incident ray. That incident ray is denoted by what? Small I. Incident ray is denoted by small I. Incident ray. This one is what? Incident ray. Incident ray. So let's see these incident rays strike on the surface at O. So we know that definitely here the light should be going to bounce back with same angle. So now this ray is called as what? Reflected ray. This ray is called as what? Reflected ray. It is denoted by what? Small r. Incident ray and reflected ray. So here the definition says the bouncing back of light after hitting any surface called as what? Reflection. Now I am considering one normal here. We know that what is normal? Normal is nothing but it is a perpendicular line to the what? Surface. So now consider normal here. So now draw the angles between the what? Incident as well as normal and reflection. Let's see the angle between incident ray and normal. The angle between incident ray and normal called as angle of incidence. Called as what? Angle of incidence. And similarly, the angle between normal and reflected ray. Normal and reflected ray called as angle of reflection. We know that these both angles are always equal. Here angle of I equals to angle of R. This is known as the first law of a light. And this is known as a what? The first law of a light. So what we are learn here? So just we are understand what is reflection. So by using the what? Simple plane mirror. So here one incident ray strikes over the surface and reflected back with same angle. So we are considered that angles like angle of incident, the space between or nothing but the angle between incident ray normal called as angle of incidence, and the angle between normal as well as reflected rays called as angle of reflection. These both angles are always equal. This thing is known as first law of light. First law of light. You know very well about that, you have studied in 8th class. So let's see how many types of reflections are possible here. So there are two types of reflections are possible. How many? There are two types of reflections are possible here. Let's see what are they. The first one is regular reflection. We understood what is reflection. Let's go to the what do you mean by regular reflection and what do you mean by irregular reflection. So we know that plane surfaces. Example, take the example of what? Plane surfaces. Here the plane surfaces shows the what? A proper reflection like this. So that is what regular reflection is stated as what? Takes place on plane surfaces. Regular reflection is a reflection takes place on plane surfaces. The reflection takes place on what? Plane surfaces. We are calling that as regular reflection. Example, you can consider any plane surfaces like a water foils or a plane mirrors. These are all, those are the best examples for the what? Regular reflection. Next, go to the what? Irregular reflection also. What do you mean by regular reflection? Just now I said, so reflection takes place on each and every surface. So let's take the example, sir, is the tree is a reflecting surface? Absolutely, tree also water, one kind of reflecting surface, even walls also water, reflecting surface, and that is what we are getting light from outside to inside the home. So sunlight is not directly available to us in a daytime, but how the light is entering to our rooms or our homes, because of every surface acts as a water reflecting surface that's outside, and that is what we are getting. So, and that in the sense of that, so regular reflection is nothing but takes place on rough surfaces like a walls, floor, or a buildings. You can consider anything, even our earth also water, one of the reflecting surface. You know that, maybe you are studying, you know that a reason why I am saying earth as a water reflecting surface. Here we are getting 100% of sunlight from the sun. We are getting 100% of light from the sun, but earth is utilizing nothing but absorbing just 47% only. Remaining 53% is reflected to the what? Atmosphere. So that light is not captured by the earth. Here earth is reflecting, and that is what I am used word earth also water reflecting surface here. So okay, let's come to the point. Irregular reflection takes place on, the irregular reflection is reflection takes place on irregular surfaces or rough surfaces, that is known as what? Irregular reflection. Now our doubt is, okay, light first law is stated as what? I equals to R, angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. Is it same for both? Why? Because regular reflection, I am given example for regular reflection here. So for regular reflection I is equal to R, it's a fine. So what about irregular reflection? Let's take that irregular reflection. For example, one surface is maybe like this. Maybe the reflection takes place not in similar, I mean not exactly in a uniform manner. So here should we consider angle of incidence and angle of reflection? Absolutely. So does it equal? I is equal to R is possible here? Sure, definitely I is equal to R possible. Why? Because if you are talking about reflection, I is equal to R is what? Mandatory here. There is no exclusions here, there is no other theories. If you are talking about reflection, that is nothing but I is equal to R. Clear? So the next thing is, today topic is nothing but what? How the reflection takes place on curved surfaces. So what do you mean by curved surface here? So okay, we know this theory from the what? Past experience and past classes. So what we have studied in earlier classes, we know very well about that, but just I am introducing you about the what do you mean by reflection once again. Let's go to the what our lesson. What do you mean by curved surface? How reflection takes place on curved surface? It's a very interesting topic to knowing about the what? How reflection takes place on curved surface. Let's see about the what do you mean by curved surface? Now I am introduced one more principle here. Maybe you are studied about this principle in 8th class. So but that one is known as Fermat principle. Before explaining curved surface, so listen once again what is Fermat principle is. The Fermat principle is stated as a what? Light always selects least time to travel or a least path to travel. Light always covers least distance. So entire reflection phenomena depends on Fermat principle. The entire reflection phenomena depends on Fermat principle. How this reflection phenomena depends on Fermat principle? Let's take the example. Here one enclosed room is there. In that enclosed room there are two openings. I mean two exits are there, two openings are there. One is here another one is this side. Now, one light source is arranged here, one light bulb, nothing but one bulb is over there. When we are switch on the bulb, and that time that light is spreads over the water room, but now this light wants to escape outside like this. Now tell me from which position or from which entrance the light should comes out first. According to Fermat principle, light comes out first from the water, which entrance is near to the water light source. Which entrance is near to the water light source, from that only light should be comes out. That is nothing but Fermat principle, and that is what entire reflection is. I mean nothing but total reflection phenomena is depends on what Fermat principle. So keep in your brains, important in 2 marks type of questions in annual examination. So what do you mean by Fermat principle is just selecting a least path to travel in a least time. That is nothing but Fermat principle. Very easy to understand what you mean by it. So let's see how reflection takes place on curved surface. Before explaining reflection takes place on curved surfaces, let's see what are curved surfaces. What are curved surfaces? These curved surface also known as spherical mirrors. This curved surface also known as what? Spherical mirrors. So there are 2 types of spherical mirrors are there. So let's see what are they. One is concave, another one is convex. So concave mirror, the both are mirrors only, concave mirror, and next convex mirror. So there are 2 types of spherical mirrors are there. What are they? Concave mirror as well as convex mirror. Let's see what are these. So what are these concave and convex mirrors are? So nothing but here concave mirror which having reflecting surface inside, which mirror having reflecting surface inside. So that is nothing but concave mirror. Which mirror having reflecting surface outside, that is nothing but convex mirror. So let me show you that concave mirror. It is a curved or a spherical mirror, curved mirror or a spherical mirror. Let's see, it's a look like a what? A semicircle or a arc type, arc or a semicircle. Now inside the reflecting surface, inside reflecting surface, this is reflecting surface. So this coated area is, I mean these lines are represented as a coated area. Light should not enter. Reflection is taking place inside only, this side only, not outside. So which mirrors are having reflecting surface inside, which mirrors are having reflecting surface inside, that mirrors are considered as concave mirror. Maybe maybe you have seen about I mean seen concave mirrors, mostly concave mirrors are used in dentist, by using the water dentist. So like maybe you are having experience with concave mirror. Do you hear before in life about what is concave mirror? Maybe you are experienced, maybe you have seen that. So let's see what is convex mirror. So convex mirror is very familiar to us. Why? Because we will use the convex mirror in vehicles, rear view mirrors as in vehicles. As a purpose of rear view mirrors, we will use the what? Convex mirrors. Let's see what is convex mirror. So I told you the definition. Which mirrors are having reflecting surface outside? Let's see. So this is a reflecting area. A reflecting surface. So coating surface is inside. This is quite opposite from concave mirror. Outside reflection surface convex, inside reflection surface concave. Light cannot enter here, that is convex mirror. Okay, this just like introduction, what is concave and what is convex mirror. Let me give you one more example to understanding better what is concave and what is convex mirror. So before explaining that, these two mirrors also called as, I mean nothing but this concave mirror also called as converging mirror. What do you mean by converging? I will show you. Converging mirror. And what about convex? Convex mirror is diverging mirror. Convex is diverging mirror. So concave is called as converging, convex is called as diverging. So why we are calling them as converging and diverging mirrors? Let us see that. You just consider one sponge piece. Consider one, take one sponge piece which having a rectangular shape. So consider one like duster, sponge. You can take that sponge piece. Now take some pins or nothing but nails. That nails you should place inside parallelly as shown in the figure, like this. So this side is left side and this side is right side. Consider like that. So I am just placed these iron nails into the water sponge. Now I am bending this sponge at this side, right side I am bending, and that time the sponge becomes like this. In this case, the all nails are going to meet at a point like this, the converging nothing but. So all nails are what going? Meeting at a point, are made at a point here. So all are meeting it here. So similarly, when the light is falls on concave mirror, when light rays are falls on concave mirror, all rays are going to be intersect at a point. Intersect at a point, and that is what we are calling concave mirror as a what? A converging. All are meeting at a point. All reflected rays are meeting at a point, and that is what we are treating concave mirror as a what? A converging mirror. So keep that point in your brain. Very important this. And second case, go to the what? Convex mirror. Why we are calling diverging mirror as convex mirror? So now the same sponge which is used in first case, bend left side now, bend like this. And this case the sponge bend like this. In this case the direction of this all nails are different. All nails are showing the what? Different directions here, and that means bulging out. We can say that thing as what? Bulging out. That is what we are calling diverging. The all nails are what? Showing some divergence to us, and that is what convex mirror is called as diverging mirror. If the light rays are falls on convex mirror, the reflected rays are going to diverge just like this. Understood what is concave mirror and why we are calling concave mirror as converging mirror? What is convex mirror? Why we are calling convex mirror as diverging mirror? So let me say once again that concave mirror is a spherical mirror which having reflecting surface inside, coated area is outside. Concave mirror also called as converging mirror. And convex mirror also convex mirror is a spherical mirror which having coated area inside, reflected area is outside, also called as diverging mirror. Next let us see the properties. What are the properties of concave and convex mirror? So before explaining that concave and convex mirror properties, the small thing you should know. Just now I said concave mirror shape or a convex mirror shape is a what? A semicircle. Concave mirror and a convex mirror shape is what? A semicircle. And next these two mirrors are called as what? A spherical mirrors. Why we are calling them as spherical mirrors? So just imagine here, consider one sphere. Consider one sphere. You can make that sphere into equal two parts. You can make that sphere into two parts equal. Here each part is acts as a what concave and a convex surface like this. But in textbooks they mention like a concave mirror is in a semicircular shape, but actually the concave and convex mirrors are exist outside like arc type, arc, the shape of arc, understand, and that is what we are calling them as semicircular, spherical mirrors, curved mirrors. So many names are there. So let's see what are the properties of concave as well as convex mirrors. Let's see first what are the properties for concave mirror. Properties of concave mirror. Now consider one concave mirror. So while drawing concave mirror, the quotation is very important, coating is very important here. Why? Because the coating can refer to what a given mirror is a concave or convex. The coating may be outside, that is concave. The coating may be inside, that is convex. Coating is very important, or else we shouldn't define the word what is concave and what is convex. So I just coated outside, that is a concave mirror. Now the concave mirror or a spherical mirror of this having some midpoint, exactly the middle of the water concave mirror, midpoint, this midpoint is called as what? Pole. The midpoint of the mirror. So where that midpoint is located, exactly where that point is called as what? Pole point, also called as geometric center. Geometric center or optic center. So you can use any word here like geometric center or optic center or pole. So mostly we can use pole only. So what is pole? Pole is a midpoint of the mirror called as what? Pole. So pole, what is pole? Midpoint of the mirror called pole. This pole is denoted by capital P. Pole is denoted by what? Capital P. Pole is denoted by capital P. So we know that concave mirror is a what? Semicircle or a curved mirror. Nothing but it's a part of circle. Definitely center also exists. So now I am consider center here, denote that center by using C. So but definition is required to us. So just imagine normals. Normals from the surface of concave mirror. Normals from the surface of concave mirrors. These all normals are going to meet at a what? One point. Is it right? These all normals are meeting at a point. So where these all normals are? So nothing but these are all are what? Normals. I am just consider some normals here from the surface. So these all normals are met at a point. Where they all those are meted? So they at the what? So where these all normals are met? At C. So the C is considered as what? A center of curvature. So where that all normals are met, the point is called a center, calling center of curvature. This is denoted by what? C, center of curvature. Let's write center of curvature. All normals are met at a point called center of curvature. It is denoted by C. Now imagine one ray is passing from pole along with center, passing from pole and a center. The one ray is passing from pole and a center, called as what? A principal axis. So the ray is passing from the water pole as well as center, called as what? A principal axis. So this is our principal axis. The line passing from pole and center, called principal axis. The line passing from pole and center, called as what? A principal axis. This is principal axis. Now the next property is so we got pole P and C is completed, and next one is principal axis also completed. So let us see one more character and one more property of a concave mirror is, just look at here pole and this one is what? Center. Now take out the distance between pole and center of curvature. The distance between pole and center of curvature, called radius of curvature. So the distance between pole and center, called as radius of curvature. This thing is denoted by capital R. This thing is denoted by what? Capital R. What is radius of curvature? Denoted by capital R. Distance between pole and center, called as what? Radius of curvature. So got it. So what are the properties we have covered here? The first one is what? A pole. What do you mean by pole? Pole is nothing but the midpoint of the mirror, called as what? A pole. And next center, we know that center is definitely exist. Why? Because we are talking about curved mirror. So it's a part of a circle. It's look like a what? Part of circle. That's what center is mandatory. And definition for center: all normals, if you consider, imagine some normals here, the all normals are met at a point. The all normals are meeting at what? C. That's what? Center. And next thing is the line passing from pole as well as what? Center. The 2 points are joining by the what? One line. That line called as nothing but principal axis. And the last one is the distance between pole as well as radius of center of curvature, called as radius of curvature. The radius of curvature is denoted by capital R. And next one more property is there. The property is nothing but focal point. So let's see that focal point in the what? Next class. So the next thing is before ending this class, so we have covered what is reflection and what are curved surfaces. So these curved surfaces are nothing but two spherical mirrors here, like concave mirror as well as convex mirror. And why we are calling them as spherical mirrors, and the properties of concave mirror, what is concave mirror and what is convex mirror. And the last one is we are completed what are the properties of concave mirror. That more one property is there, that is focal point. So what is focal point?